How's it going, guys? Apple here today. Yesterday we talked about while loops. Today we're going to be talking about for loops. This is part 12 of this series, learning how to code in C++. Of course, yesterday I talked about everything about while loops and how to break them down to understanding it. Today we're going to be talking about for loops. Basically, probably I should have mentioned in the last episode, loops only need three things to actually function perfectly. This right here is what our data type, it's basically what it actually is. Like, hey, this is our starting number 0, for an example. In this example, this is our starting point 0. And then right here we have our basically what we want it to do. So we want this to print out basically until this statement is false. And this right here is the final part of a for loop. It's basically when this entire thing runs, it's going to add 1 and then run it again until this statement is false. And then whatever's in the for loop, it basically prints it over and over and over until this statement is false. In this statement right here, 0 is technically less than 5. So the statement is true and it will print out until this statement right here is false. And what we use to actually separate these is semicolons. So when we execute this code, we should get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason why we're not getting 5 is mainly because if it was, it'll be true. And for this, we could pretty much put whatever statement we want to it. For example, we could put a string, we could put pretty much anything. We could put, for example, Monday for it, and then have it print out Monday actually 5 times, since it starts out 0. But if we put this as, let's say 3, it's only going to print it out 2 times. Actually, yeah, 2 times. But if we lower this number to 4, we're going to print it out 1 time. And then the while loop will end. Of course, if we're only printing out 1 time, loops pretty much should never be put into it. Just write down the code. But if we're printing it out 100 times, you could save thousands of lines of code just from using a simple for loop. And yet again, you can have this on negative, and that would actually decrease the number until the statement is false. Now when we run our code, basically you really shouldn't be doing this, mainly because it will crash. And that's really it about for loops. They're pretty much the exact same as while loops, but have their own purpose. In the real world, you're going to be seeing more for loops as a result, and not much of while loops. So I hope you guys liked and learned something. I'll see you guys in the next episode.